Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Become the Disruptor. My name is Magda. I'm a trauma-informed therapist, and today we're going to be talking about the neuroaesthetics of your environment. So how your nervous system and how your brain is absorbing and responding to your closest environment, and why that matters to your healing, because actually it matters dramatically. Okay, maybe not dramatically. I don't want to be dramatic, but it does matter. It does matter. So your nervous system is actually absorbing where you are all the time. Your nervous system and your brain unconsciously, they are scanning your environment. That happens, like I said, without your actual conscious knowledge, but it is acknowledged by your unconscious. So consciously, you might not be aware of the impact of your environment, or you might be aware to a degree. But let's talk about what environments as well are good for you, and why it's important for you to actually realize what is your particular, so to speak, regulated space that you can feel safe and stabilized in, and what is actually not. Because like I said, your nervous system is absorbing it all the time, and not symbolically, not metaphysically, but biologically. So I'm not talking metaphysics here, just the pure biological and physical knowledge. So your brain is responding to contrast a lot. And again, unconsciously, it's responding to symmetry. It is responding as well to spatial coherence. And coherence, what I do mean by that is how things basically look for you. What coherent as in, are things like aligning together? Do they fit together? Do they belong together? And again, you don't have to be aware of that, because just remind yourself of the last time that you went somewhere, to a new place maybe. How did you feel there? So you enter a space, it's almost like some people say, oh, I just immediately felt off. Yes, because your unconscious is scanning all the time. You feel the off because potentially something in that spatial, in a spatial thing, in a spatial environment is not coherent, so it's not aligned. Maybe the angles something is not fitting, something does not belong. Maybe there is too much of something or too little of something else. So your brain responds to symmetry, to contrast, to spatial coherence, so whether the things belong together or not, and to visual noise. So when there is a lot of, let's say, visual clutter or maybe color, that's not coherent. And I'm not saying, because there will be different types of colors that actually really do, that they might almost like look chaotic, but they fit together. But again, it does depend on your particular unconscious, and this is what you gotta discover about yourself when you're healing. This is really important for you to discover, especially considering of where you live. That spatial coherence, the visual noise, or actually the visual coherence as well. So the spatial coherence versus as well the visual coherence, the symmetry, the contrast, that's for you to discover. Now, because all these inputs, so the coherence, the symmetry, the contrast, they will affect your arousal. So how mobilized are you? They will affect your attention. So can you hold your attention for longer? Can you focus for a longer period of time? They will impact your emotional tone. So some people will call it the mood. And they will impact also, in the long term, your decision-making process. Because let's say if your emotional tone is off slightly, so you're not feeling 100% because of something in the environment that you're picking up on is not kind of fitting, not belonging, your attention will not going to be as sharp, and your arousal is going to be, you're going to be like scanning for threat. So that all these So arousal, attention, and emotional tone, they will impact your decision-making process. Therefore, they will impact your life. So as you can see, guys, there's snowball effects from a lot of things in your life, that it's almost like when you look at your immediate environment and when you look at your, for example, even self-care routine, there are little things that you can change that will have a global impact on your healing journey or your growth journey, whatever you're going through. Because those little changes, they can produce sometimes the biggest effect. And that's why healing, like I said on numerous times and numerous occasions, is not supposed to be dramatic. It is not actually dramatic. It is rather boring because you're subtracting things rather than adding into your life. So, you know, your environment, it's almost like it's like a neural soup. It's like a neural broth for your brain and for your nervous system. So for example, cluttered spaces, when there's a lot of clutter, that is almost like what you are giving to your nervous system. So cluttered space equals, for your nervous system, continuous low-grade noise. So your nervous system is always like scanning for something. Chaotic schedules. So when your schedule is all over the place, you don't know, you know, from A to B to Z, this is 10 o'clock, this is 11, like, you know, whatever that is, your attention will be fragmented because your attention is going to be like this. So again, when your attention is fragmented, like I said, your decision-making process will be poorer. It's not going to be of high quality. So any incoherent environment, so the things when they don't belong together, like I said, you know, the spatial incoherence, the visual incoherence, lack of symmetry or contrast, that is giving a fatigue to your nervous system. So look around and be honest with yourself, because neural hygiene matters. So when you reduce, so how do you know, what do I mean by neural hygiene? So neural hygiene is basically a coherent environment, providing a coherent environment for your brain and for your nervous system. Neural. So for your neurons can feed on the good stuff, can feed on something that is pleasant to look into, that is comforting to you, not even soothing maybe and comforting, but just coherent. It belongs together. So reduce if you can unnecessary stimulation, and you know what that is already. I don't have to explain it. Simplifying visual fields. So again, coming back to the cluttered spaces, declutter and leave the things that, like I said, belong together, make sense. If you don't know how to do it, take photos of your place, send it to ChatGPT, voila, might help you with, like, you know, and ask it, how can I make my space more coherent? Can you help me with that? That's it. This is why we have AI to help us with these types of things that, you know, or you can hire, if you can afford, you can hire someone to help you with that. So that ChatGPT is a free version, yeah. And so simplifying visual field, decluttering, and also choosing the environments that you are surrounding yourself in. So, you know, going to coffee shops, going outside, going out with friends, you know, whatever that is that you're doing, choosing the environments that support regulation. So again, when you go in somewhere, actually check how your body is responding, check how your nervous system is responding, just absorb this information that you're listening now and use it in your everyday life. So now look around and see how you actually truly feel about it. And it's not about touchy-feely, no, it's about, how does it land? Does it regulate me? And when you do that, like I said, your attention changes, your emotional tone changes, your affect changes, your arousal changes, which will then, like I said, in the long run, impact your decision-making process. So when you do all of that, when you reduce, let's say, even one source of visual noise, so even like now, look around, what is giving noise, what is not really required in the space that you are now. Remove it. Create contrast. Create contrast in terms like you don't have to accumulate more things. That's it. You can put the two things together that you already have and look at the contrast and just see maybe how beautiful they look together. So again, experiment, play, see how your nervous system is responding to the new contrast, to the reduced visual noise, etc. And also, what is really important is just limit the environments that are overstimulating to you. And again, overstimulation would look differently to different people. So for example, for some people, going to like a big events when there's a lot of people and loud music, for some people that is like amazing, they love it and they feel just like, yes, this is it. For others, that's a complete no-go. So you got to decide for yourself, which one are you? Or maybe that is also available for you, but maybe for like a shorter period of time. Again, it's for you to discover when you're working on your particular nervous system. So when you make these small environmental changes, it gives the relief to your brain and to your nervous system, and gives it's healing. It's healing. It's neuroaesthetics as healing. And just remember, your nervous system is responding to everything, and you gotta know to what it is responding to. And it's your responsibility as the adult to know what aesthetically works for you and what doesn't. And it's just a preference. Okay, so I trust that was helpful, and I gave you a different angle to some of the things that maybe you didn't consider before. If so, like, share, and subscribe. And also you can book a session with me. You've got the links down below. And also I have a neuroaesthetic guide, aesthetic operating system, why you like what you like, which is almost like a twin to the emotional operating system that I created before. Both are mini guides, both are very practical, and both are rooted in neuroscience. So if you're interested in that, you've got also the links to them in the description below. So I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.